So, what? 2 weeks ago, 3 days ago now, shall we say, I was left a comment by Chloe Brookes-Holder. Now, if you don't know who she is, you may remember, or may not remember, back in March, we made a video about The Sun had posted an article about this girl who claimed that basically the HVP vaccine was responsible for her basically becoming paralysed. Now, that is absolutely 100% false, because even then, in that very article, towards the bottom, after they'd done her whole, sob story, as they like to do in these articles, we've covered them before, you basically get comments from NHS England and I think 2 other organisations responsible for medicine that basically say this: there is no connection between her illness and the HVP vaccine. This is exactly the same people who say there are no link between MMR vaccine and autism. Yet these people who have come to my channel recently, probably because of Chloe, are saying the exact same thing. Now let's dive into her comment. So, hi idiot, you are unbelievably blind. Open your eyes. Well, sorry Chloe, I've been doing this for a while. In fact, I've been talking about against alternative health people, against anti-vax people for about 3 years, and I've been talking about, debunking conspiracy theories when I first started this YouTube channel. Opening like that doesn't put you in a very good light with me. Not when you're using the same language as conspiracy theorists who use the exact same opening. And oh yeah, you are also using the exact same language as a guy who told me once personally that ghosts are real and that the government are covering them up because it's something to do with time travel. So yeah, you're not looking good straight away from my point of view. You will never understand until this happens to you or someone you love. Again, trying to play the sympathy card, I really don't care, Chloe. Because, quite frankly, it's not going to happen because there is no evidence. There is no link. So until you can prove that link, which you can't, you've got nothing. And that's going to be the common theme of this video. And I am not anti-vax. Well, you are, because I've been on your UK victims of the HVP vaccine. I've also been on Regret's website, who are all against the HVP vaccine, who use the exact same talking points that, the anti-MMR people do, the basic anti-flu, whatever. If it's a needle and a vaccine, they hate it. You are using the exact same language, the exact same talking points. If it quacks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Sorry, Chloe, but you are. I inject myself daily with things to keep me alive. Just because you do that doesn't mean you are anti-vax. And as for doctors, happy chap, if you don't suffer, you won't understand the system. Again, this talk of the system, again, is systemic with people who are anti-vax, medicine, whatever, anti-government, you name it, you evidently don't understand the system. No, I do understand the system, but you're making claims against the system you can't back up or even substantiate. Where are we? Yes. All, in capitals, my doctors say it's a result of this. Yes, correlation doesn't equal causation, but my case, you are wrong. Then why haven't your doctors come out and said this? I've said this time and time before, Chloe. You are not the first person to come and say that their doctors agree with them. Where are they? Show me your medical records. Show me, as you claim later on, show me where it says that this doctor who says that your MMR, your HVP vaccine is responsible. You know, you can get your medical records. You can publish them. It is not hard to do. Get the doctor to go on the record. If he's saying the truth as you say, as you claim, then get him to do it. It shouldn't be hard. My GP has confirmed, and it is causation in my notes. Doesn't... oh, okay. Just because he's written that doesn't mean it. What is your GP actually saying? Would you be up if for me contacting your GP? Now, I'd need your permission to do this. So if you want me to prove me wrong even more, give me permission to contact your GP on your behalf and ask about your medical notes. I'll record it in this open format. I don't mind. Let's do it, Chloe. You know, I'm giving you the choice now, Chloe. Put it this way. No one has ever got past this, and I suspect you won't either. Show me the proof. Show me the evidence. Oh yes, and here we go. Of course, and this is why they won't. Always a caveat. I've got all the information. Doctors agree with me, but, and here's the but. My consultants don't want to speak up because they all fear they will lose their job. Classic anti-vax manoeuvre. Anything against the medical establishment. Oh, my doctor won't speak out because he'll lose his job. He's afraid the medical establishment will come after him. No, absolutely wrong. If you look back, heck, the tainted blood thing that's been going on for a while now, there were countless numbers of doctors raising their voices saying, you know, we think this blood, this transplant blood, isn't safe. They didn't lose their jobs. The General Medical Council didn't come after them. So, again, I question you, Chloe. I really, really do when you say this type of stuff, because this is exactly what someone who is anti-vax would say. And I've been on, you know, the UK HVP Victims Forum. It's all anti-vax nonsense. I've been on Regrets stuff. It's all anti-vax nonsense. You're just singing from the same hymn sheet, except you replace MMR with HVP. That's all you are doing. Where are we? Yes. They speak up, they are struck by the General Medical Council, and they will never get their license to practice back. They won't get struck off just because they are talking. Right, Chloe? That's a massive misconception. If a GP goes, I think this is a problem, and by the way, if this is in your notes, then why aren't the General Medical Council striking him off for putting this in your notes? Because for doctors, you know, medical notes are private, but in sort of the medical doctor world, that's almost like putting it on a public record. So why hasn't your consultant, your GP, been struck off for putting it on your notes? If he's that confident, why hasn't he come forward? This is why I question you, Chloe. This is why I question all these anti-vax nonsense, because I don't think it's you, Chloe. I think it's your mum or someone in your family who has pushed you in this direction. It's all about, and of course, another little charmer. It's all about the dollars. It's that's why that's what Big Pharma is. And you're not anti-vax, Chloe. You're seriously telling me you're not anti-vax when you've just spouted that at me. Do you know why I can't... yeah, here we are. Yeah, do you know why I can't sue? Because you haven't got any evidence that the HPV vaccine is responsible. That's why you can't sue. Because in the year 1986, the year of the MMR vaccine... Okay, I don't know what... Again, why are you bringing up MMR? I'm puzzled by that. They, brackets, the government, protected themselves and the manufacturer's arses for a reason. I don't have to explain myself. You can find the facts out on your own, but you probably won't because you are clearly 100% against it anyway. No, Chloe, all governments have this. Particularly ones with socialised healthcare, and the ones even more so that have mandatory vaccine schedules. What you have to do, because the government are doing this, because this has happened in the past, later so than 1986, by the way, in the 70s, even in America, there was a polio vaccine that a company was manufacturing was contaminated. Lots of people got sick, some people died. That manufacturer no longer exists because the government shut them down. Then they changed. Now that was even longer ago. But you look back, further back, what's happening is you can't sue the manufacturer to begin with because it's the government to begin with that are making, that are essentially saying you've got to have this vaccine because, public health. It's what we do. So, what happens is, first of all, you have to have proof. You have to have proof. Notice what I'm saying, Chloe. Proof that the vaccine is the cause for your illness, ailments, whatever. You don't have any proof. Hence, you cannot go to the government and say, money, please. That's pretty obvious. And the reason why you can't, and the reason why you're being told this lie that, you can't go to the government and sue them and whatever, is because it's part of the whole anti-vax thing. They know that they don't have a case, so they've got to make up reasons why you can't just walk up to the government, sue them and then lose, and then you'll say, oh, well, the only reason why I lost was because, the government was, covered it up. No. And again, Chloe, you're telling me you're not anti-vax, so don't be ridiculous. Where are we? Your opinion is valid, but what you say is vile. I'll give you a chance to educate that brain of yours. Sit and watch the entire series of The Truth About Vaccines, episode 5 in particular. Chloe, I've watched Ty Bollinger's The Truth About Vaccines, and let me tell you, there is absolutely no truth in what that guy has to say. You should not listen to that guy at all. That guy is not a medical professional, he has no training in vaccines, and has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, and makes shit up, and then profits off people like you who believe his bullshit. So, I'm sorry, Chloe, but you're telling me you're not anti-vax. Not only are you using the same language as an anti-vax, but you're now using the truth about vaccines. Right. As for evidence, that's not in my hands. It's in the NHS's. NHS, in the very article story I quoted you from the video you left a comment on, the HPV vaccine is safe. There is no evidence at all to suggest the link between your illness and the vaccine. That's from the NHS yourself. You then go on to say, They've even deleted files and scans. How do you know this? Can you show evidence that they have done this? No, you can't, Chloe. You're making shit up at that point. Which is crucial evidence. As for the Sun and all the other papers, they didn't tell my entire story, especially the bit where I died due to respiratory arrest following a cardiac arrest due to atomic failure. Yes, you shouldn't believe everything you hear, but this is 100% real. Grow up and accept the fact that modern medicine isn't 100% safe or effective. And yeah, sorry Chloe, I've had people come to me telling me that the Gerson therapy is 100% effective. I've recently released a video about breatharianisms, someone has come to me and said, yeah, I've been a breatharian for 4 or 5 years, I think they said, apparently hasn't eaten, and he's never got ill at all in those 4 or 5 years. I've had people come to me who do the Gerson therapy, who have claimed they've cured cancer just through eating a diet and juicing. What is the difference at this point, Chloe, between you claiming this and someone else making stupid, outrageous medical claims like that? There is no difference at all, Chloe. You have been absolutely conned and taken in by someone. And I'm sorry that you are horribly misinformed on this, but you absolutely are. Modern medicine isn't 100% safe. I'll agree with you. Nothing in medicine is 100% guaranteed. But they are damn high chances. And if you're just going to say, 100% effective, then I have to disagree with you, because there are hundreds of thousands of medical papers showing the effectiveness of drugs, medicines, vaccines. You want proof that the HPV vaccine is safe and effective. Look at the Nordic countries, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, who have had the HPV vaccine for at least 10 more years longer than we have. Cervical cancer rates, the ones that the HPV vaccine targets, are down by 65%. How can you not say that that's not an effective treatment? Not only that, where are all these supposed injured girls in Denmark, Norway and Sweden that have had this vaccine? Remember, they've had this longer than us, yet there's no, HPV vaccine injured people over there. And then, finally, I will get proof in my hands, including the test for HPV vaccine live DNA in my blood by Dr. Lee in America. No idea who that is. Just like he proved that the vaccine killed people via their autopsies. That's my sceptical look, by the way. Yes. This vaccine is designed not to pass the blood-brain barrier, but it did and still does. Still does? A vaccine, the actual stuff that's in the vaccine doesn't doesn't stay very long in your body. Your body will clean it out within a week. What it needs are the antibodies. Once it's got those antibodies, that's it, job done. And again, you will pee and poop and, it out, basically. That's what happens, your kidneys will filter it out and job done. So, my question is, Chloe, are you lying about a dance injury you had? And that's why you're paralysed. Because, I'll say this now, Chloe, there is a really odd connection that I have seen. There's you and another girl who's also been in the paper not long after you. She's also a dancer. She got paralysed as well. Again, 2 years. well, not 2 years, but again, not immediately after having the HPV vaccine, which would ring alarm bells, but at least some time. Remember, people, Chloe is claiming that the HPV vaccine paralysed her. Now, she became paralysed 2 years after. That doesn't seem at all anywhere near the time. The vaccine would have long ago left your body. A long time ago left your body. So I'm sorry, but I think you're lying. And I think people around you have convinced you that it's the HPV vaccine at fault when it's not. This may have just happened to you already. You may have been just dealt a shitty hand in life. That may just be it. But when you have another girl who also claimed this and then got better from paralysis. Yes, got better from paralysis. Now, she's not a dancer. I'd like to point that out. Yeah, this is just really, really strange. And until medical science can actually prove it, or you can actually produce actual live, real evidence, then I'm not going to believe you. You are spreading false and misleading information. You are potentially putting people's public health at risk by getting a very safe and effective vaccine. So, sorry, Chloe, but I'm not the idiot here. You're the one who's making absurd claims. Not only have your claims gone in a national newspaper once, but remember that national newspaper then quoted NHS and 2 other doctors saying that there's no evidence to suggest this. In all this time since then, there has been no new information to corroborate your claims. You say that there is evidence, but your GP won't speak out. You claim that there are scans and other things, but the NHS has deleted them. Do you have any evidence to prove that's the case? I very much doubt you have. And you see why all this stuff, Chloe, is just piled on you. There is more questions than answers to even what you've said here. You are making false claims, Chloe, and you should stop, because it's endangering to other people's public health. This is exactly why I talk about against people who decide not to go and get, chemotherapy or radiation because they saw some guy on the internet who apparently says you can drink, 30 litres of juice a day and, it'll cure you of cancer. So, sorry, Chloe, but fuck off.